Many of us are no stranger to the name Elon Musk, the man dubbed the Iron Man of Silicon Valley, founder of Tesla, and one of the few individuals outside the United States, Russia, or China to possess space launch and recovery technology. He is a renowned billionaire, philanthropist, and genius. However, many may not know the name Maye Musk, his mother. She, too, has led an extraordinary life. Elon Musk also has two siblings, his brother Kimball, who runs the Kitchen Restaurant Group, one of America's best-rated restaurants, and his sister Tosca, a filmmaker, screenwriter, and director in Hollywood. All three are highly successful, raised single-handedly by Maye Musk. Many have wondered how she raised and provided such a valuable education to her three children, enabling them to achieve the success they have today. After reading this book and understanding her, you will find your answer. Elon Musk has often said publicly that his mother is his hero, and his success comes greatly from her nurturing and influence. If you've read this book, you'll know that Maye Musk's life has been incredibly turbulent, especially her marriage, which plunged her into misery as she endured 9 years of domestic violence. At 31, she escaped her abuser, becoming a single mother with not a penny to her name. Yet, while raising 3 children, she managed to earn 2 master's degrees and return to modeling after the age of 60. She also successfully showcased her image on 4 advertising billboards in Times Square, USA. Today, at 74, Maye Musk has become a global icon and an inspiration to millions. Despite her flowing white hair, her confidence and charisma always exude a wonderful beauty. Her successful career and character prove to everyone that we can live a brilliant life without ever fearing age. The harder we strive, the luckier we become. This book is Maye's sincere message to all of us. She wants to share her life experiences through 5 aspects: beauty, adventure, family, success, and health, to help us reduce suffering and find happiness more easily on our life's journey. On the cover of this book, you'll see Maye's incredibly steady and confident expression, her bright eyes as if telling us to make a plan, work hard to achieve it, and all your dreams can come true. Now, let's explore her resilient life and see what we can learn from her to live a better life. What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. We might envy her success and luck as she leads such a rich and diverse life. But in reality, Maye Musk's life has been incredibly tough, enduring domestic violence for many years. At 31, she decided to leave that marriage, raising 3 children alone. The financial hardship forced her to move her 3 children through many cities across 3 countries, constantly struggling to survive. During those most difficult times, she had to work 5 jobs simultaneously, and it wasn't until she was 50 that her life began to stabilize. With a master's degree in nutrition, she earned a living as a dietitian while also working as a part-time model. Each time she moved to a new city, she had to start over, facing countless difficulties, often met with cold receptions at work. She was rejected repeatedly and found herself impoverished, unable to afford a car or clothes, forced to rent the cheapest accommodations. For a single mother at 31, raising 3 children at once, this was truly an incredibly difficult life. Life then seemed determined to knock her down, yet she remained brave, diligent, and incredibly optimistic. When recounting all the bad things from her past, she simply said, "No matter how grim things look, there is always light ahead. If it's too dark, become the light yourself. I have fallen countless times and had to restart my life from scratch. The more you strive, the more easily good fortune will find you." In life, we often feel that fate is predetermined, that we can't change anything. But you must remember that we always have the power of choice, to face it, to complain, or to bravely move forward. Different choices lead to different lives. When you choose to bravely confront it, the pain you endure will become your armor. What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. This saying truly describes Maye Musk. After experiencing so many hardships, not only did she not give up, but she can gently tell us, "I hope you know there is always a way out." Adventurous prudence. The second key to Maye Musk's life is adventurous prudence, a trait she passed down to her son, Elon. Taking risks is a rare quality, and sometimes it can even be the decisive factor in a person's life. Her adventurous spirit also came from her parents, especially her father, Joshua, who was a very independent man. He had a lifelong dream of traveling the world, even buying a private plane and frequently taking his family on trips. In 1950, when Maye was just 2 years old, her father decided to move the family from Canada to live in Africa, having heard that the scenery in South Africa was beautiful. The entire family boarded a cargo ship and drifted at sea for 2 months. Since they only spoke English, they intended to move to an English-speaking inland area. But as they passed through the Dutch-speaking city of Pretoria, they saw the city covered in beautiful flowers and decided to stay there. Afterward, he always yearned to go to the Kalahari Desert to find the lost city, so the whole family made a 3-week journey across the desert every winter. They brought food, water, and fuel to sustain them for 3 weeks. Once, during their journey, a lion broke into their camp. Her father, Joshua, fired several shots at the lion with a shotgun. Finally, the lion climbed a sand dune next to the camp and stared at them all morning. Another time, Maye's mother was stung by a scorpion, and the children quickly helped their mother find a way to extract the venom. They were also chased by ostriches and encountered crocodiles and hyenas. Yet, during this process, Maye never knew fear because she always trusted her father. In her eyes, her father was a great man, fearless, adventurous, and good at planning. That was also her family's motto: live adventurously with prudence. A reckless adventure would lead to disaster, but a cautious life without challenges would always be boring and monotonous. Only a life that is both adventurous and prudent through planning can be both realistic and exciting, right? Thus, Maye Musk was raised with an adventurous spirit tempered by careful planning from her parents. This was also an important driving force that helped her cope with life's 3 difficulties and hardships. At the same time, she learned from her father not to follow trends, but to forge her own path, always curious about the world, daring to try, to do, and to challenge the status quo, rather than always chasing trends or living up to others' expectations. This is the most precious treasure her parents left her. Money, in many cases, cannot help much, but a person's courage can help them endure difficulties in the most critical moments. Be amazing from the inside out. Maye Musk was invited to attend modeling school at 15, but her modeling career stopped at 18. This was because, from a young age, she never prioritized becoming a famous model. Her real desire was to become a nutritionist. This choice stemmed from her core value that a person's inner self is far more important than their external appearance. Once, during an audition, the director praised her, "You are truly beautiful." But Maye replied with a statement that stunned everyone there. "Isn't that the prerequisite for me to be here?" This was considered a too daring answer and cost her the chance to make the final list. However, she had no regrets, knowing that in the modeling world, there are always many candidates. When everyone is equally beautiful, the standard of beauty is raised. At this point, the beauty of inner richness becomes more important than outward beauty. On this point, Maye Musk always displayed great confidence. When she wasn't getting attention as a model, she could still earn money for herself and support her 3 children with her income as a nutritionist. Regarding beauty, she offers advice to everyone. First, when in love, don't choose people who value your appearance too much, because if they focus too much on the exterior, they won't be able to see your true inner self. Second, always cultivate your self-confidence. If your appearance isn't perfect, excessive concern for your exterior will only bring you insecurity, dissatisfaction, and prevent you from discovering other wonderful potentials within yourself. She tells us that anyone can become an attractive person by showing confidence, respecting others, and smiling at everyone around them. The best way to raise children is to let them be independent. Maye Musk raised 3 children alone when she was 31, in a limited living environment and with tight finances, yet her children all became highly successful. Many wonder how she raised her children and what her secret is. On this, she shared 2 pieces of advice. First, don't overprotect your children. If you do this, it will only make them irresponsible and detached from reality. Think about it. Do the children around you or your own children often consider themselves the center of attention? Do all adults have to act according to their needs and emotions? Many times, in airports or public places, I have witnessed children screaming when their parents don't do what they want. Children who are overly indulged from a young age often grow up with communication problems and can even develop extreme personalities. At the same time, their self-reliance will be very poor. They cannot take good care of themselves, and in the long run, they will lack confidence and strength and will not be able to work diligently. Furthermore, when you overprotect your children, it affects their ability to integrate into society, their self-worth, and consequently, their happiness in life. Before adulthood, family education is truly crucial. If children don't learn self-reliance from their own families, they will be greatly disadvantaged when they enter society. Your excessive pampering and indulgence are actually harming your own children. In this regard, Maye Musk's parenting style is worth learning from for all parents. When life was difficult, Maye spent most of her time working because she had to ensure shelter, food, and clothing for her children. Perhaps many of us have also gone through such difficult times. Her advice to all of us is, don't feel guilty towards your children or constantly blame circumstances. Instead of bringing negative energy home, it's better to convey an optimistic attitude to your family members. Maye Musk also advises us that you can ask your children to help with work or household chores. This is a trick she learned from her own parents. When she was 8 years old, her father asked her to help at his clinic and gave her a small wage. This was also a way to give children pocket money. In this way, children can realize that earning money is very difficult, and they will value every penny from a young age. It also fosters a correct spending guan, and from there, greater understanding and empathy for their parents. Moreover, by helping parents with chores, children can also discover their talents and interests. They will gradually start planning and working hard for their dreams from a young age and gain the ability to make choices for themselves very early on. Maye Musk's second lesson in raising children is to teach them good habits, but don't decide their future for them. She says, "People always ask me how to raise successful children. In reality, I just let them follow their interests." Yes, it's really that simple. When children need parents, support and encouragement are enough. And when they need your advice, give them the most sincere advice you can. Maye Musk shared her experience raising Elon. Elon got his first computer at 12 years old. He was very happy and quickly learned how to use it. After that, he wrote a game code. So, Maye Musk encouraged her son to submit this game to a computer magazine. The magazine then sent Elon some money as a reward and published his game. One can imagine this was a huge affirmation and encouragement for a child. This immense power sows a seed of dreams in the child's heart and continues to motivate them to pursue their dreams. Maye Musk did the same with her other 2 children. She emphasized that children should learn to take responsibility for their own future. And as parents or siblings, you can only teach them good habits, but don't decide what they want to do in the future. If you weren't born rich, find your talent and work hard. Regarding success, she shared with us a motto: the harder you work, the luckier you'll get. She believes that luck only appears when we work hard. Luck is also the light you have accumulated through your efforts over time. She also advises us that regardless of whether we come from a rich or poor family, forget your origins, because when you forget your origins, you gain the belief to do 3 specific things to succeed. First, persevere in what you want. Second, always be optimistic. And third, escape your comfort zone. Maye Musk often taught her children that there's no absolute yes in life, but if you don't ask, the answer is definitely no. Therefore, from a very young age, her children always proactively seized opportunities. She herself was always like this because, throughout her decades of life, she often had to change cities to live. Each time she arrived somewhere new, she started over. Though she was rejected and ignored many times, she always believed that with effort and by sending out requests, someone would surely answer. Maye Musk never stopped developing herself and learning in her fields of nutrition and business. Every 5 years, she took 75 one-hour tests to ensure her professional qualifications as a nutritionist. That's also why she could restart her career in any other country, eventually becoming the president of the Canadian Association of Professional Dietitians. And in the modeling field, she stepped out of her comfort zone, discovering a new self at 69. Her unique charisma was discovered by the CoverGirl fashion brand, and she became the oldest spokesperson in their history. Changing your eating habits will help you discover your hidden potential. This is also the last piece of advice you must hear from a true nutrition expert, because even though she is over 70, thanks to her nutritional knowledge, she still maintains a beautiful, healthy, and energetic physique. She always exudes an aura that even young people admire. First, Maye Musk emphasizes that the reason you eat healthy is for your own happiness, not because of someone else's picky criticism or comments about your body. Second, there's no need to follow other eating formulas or trendy diets. To maintain a healthy diet, you just need to follow some common eating rules. For example, Eat breakfast every day before 9 a.m., which also means you'll have to wake up earlier. Additionally, it's best to divide your food into several small meals. Eat whenever you feel hungry. Have healthy snacks like nuts or fruits readily available around you. Also, learn to enjoy food. Don't intentionally omit certain foods or force yourself to eat healthy foods you don't like. Eating should be an enjoyable process. Just make sure you regularly eat vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, and dairy. Another important thing is to learn how to identify and calculate the amount of calories and protein you need daily. For example, one egg has 6 g of protein, and 100 g of fish has 17-20 g of protein. Small calculations like these will help you know what you've eaten today. Finally, in addition to healthy eating, you must regularly exercise every day and maintain good relationships. This will keep your body and mind always healthy. Ultimately, the most important thing when reading this autobiography is that we get to know and learn from an elderly woman full of resilience, confidence, and wisdom. A woman over 70 who inspires us to embrace our age. We don't need to fear getting old or let wrinkles on our faces become a source of dread. Let each decade of our lives be better than the last, and the harder we strive, the luckier our lives will become.